The following thoughts on Happy Hour do not represent Cox Media Group or its sponsoring. Anything you hear may and will be used against you. Thank you.
Are you feeling classy today? Sit down, pour a glass of wine, and listen to Happy Hour.
You're tuned in to Happy Hour, an hour where Happy rants about something. Sit back and listen in. Happy Hour is on now. Happy Hour is on now.
What up? What is happening? This is Happy Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe, and for the next hour, I want to change the way you think about things. For the next hour, my goal in life is to entertain you. And right now, it is 1:20 in the morning, East Coast time, but it doesn't matter. I got out of my pizza job at midnight. It doesn't matter because I am so focused on making you guys entertained and to change the way you guys think about things, because it means the world to me when you guys come up and say, I love the show, or I listen while I'm at work. But first, let's let that beat drop. Tweet at me. It's not hard. It's not hard at all to tweet at me at Ryan Hoppe Radio, or if you're listening live via the Spreaker app or via Spreaker Online, just chat me. And I want to see this happen. I want to get a chat feature going. You guys can chat me while I'm doing the show live at Spreaker. All right. We have so much to get into, so let's get it going. I get that celebrities are human beings. I get that they have the same traits as us. They're embarrassed. They get mad just because they're worth $200 million, that they are no different than us. But at times, when you are worth that much money, you kind of need to get past a few things in life. Like, here's a headline that got me so mad. Here's a headline that I could not believe my eyes. Justin Bieber opens up about the photos of his penis. I don't even get why this is news. And you're going to say, but Hoppe, you're talking about it. But Hoppe, you're discussing it right now at 1:21 in the morning. It is news. But here's why it shouldn't be news. Why does Justin Bieber care if a photo of his penis is out? Guess who's seen his penis before, too? Selena Gomez. None of us can say that about our penises. I don't get why he's so mad about it. He says he feels violated. Yes, it was kind of unclassy for the paparazzi to do that. But at the same time, think about it this way, dude. Your net worth is $200 million. You are set for life. Who do you think you are complaining that dong shots are out? Oh, poor you. As you drive home in your nice car that's worth $800,000, in your mansion where you get drunk with Lil Zoe or whatever that rapper's name was, and Will Smith's kid. How dare you possibly get mad at the fact that a pic of your penis is out there? I don't get why he's so mad. Like, he should be sitting on his couch, smoking out of his bong, laughing, going, if this happened to anybody else, it'd be big news. But I'm Justin Bieber. I can do what I want. I just don't get why he's so mad. Like, he had that big roast back in March, and this roast was supposed to be when Bieber grows up. This was supposed to be when Bieber is a changed man. But he's really not a changed man. It really was just PR for his new album and everything coming out. He really is a phony, just like every other celebrity. If he's mad that a picture of his dong came out, who cares, dude? You're the same old Justin Bieber, and you're going to be taking it to the grave if you're mad that there's a picture of your penis out. Ridiculous, dude. Oh, poor you and your $200 million net worth and all the girls that you banged out and the fact that you got away or hotboxing an airplane, your private jet. Oh, poor you and your privileges. Shut the hell up, you bitch. Ridiculous. So sick of him. Oh, but my dong shots are out. Yeah, I would love to have my dong shot be out. It's not small, but it's not ginormous. It gets the job done. I would love to have that be out and have my net worth be $200 million. Sit down and realize that you make more money per hour than most people make in their lifetime. Poor you. Ridiculous little bitch. And this is from the Huffington Post. It says, Bieber opens up about those pictures of his penis. It says here, after the New York Daily News published full frontal paparazzi photos of Bieber vacationing in Bora Bora earlier this month. Yeah! It wasn't like if there would be a dong shot of me, it would be at the local pool in Sarasota or in St. Pete. You're in Bora Bora, bro, on a vacation where you can get what you want. You've probably had threesomes there, maybe even orgies. Girls are throwing themselves at you. You live a life that none of us will. Why do you care if the dong shots are out? It shows that you're never going to grow up. It shows that you will always be the same Bieber and that you are just a phony, dude. Because wasn't that roast that you had, wasn't it supposed to be when you changed? When you let everyone attack you like Pete Davidson, Natasha Leggero, Shaq, Snoop Dogg, everybody bashed you. Jeff Ross killed you. Martha killed you. But then at the end you said, I'm a changed man. Everything that happened is in the past. That's behind me. But then you get mad over shots of your dong being out. Also, aren't you working on new projects that are coming out? Is there a chance, bro, that this is PR, that you're just saying this because you want to be in the news because you're working on something? Because no normal celebrity cares if this is out. I mean, I get what the fappening last year, that was bad. But that was Kate Upton, and that was all those hot celebrities. That was more embarrassing because those were suggestive pictures of Jennifer Lawrence. That's different because there are pictures of her using items near her vag. Like, that's a little bit different than when you have Bieber naked. I get it wasn't the most flattering picture, but I would love to have a flattering picture of me, or not so flattering, be out and have my net worth be $200 million. You ungrateful douchebag. God, he's the worst. And I was kind of rooting for him after that roast. I was like, wow, he's a changed man. Wow, he's growing up. I liked how he dealt with the jokes, and he had his hair greased back, and he brought that monkey. I was like, wow, he's changed. I guess not. Here's his quote. And what I'm about to read to you feels like something from The Onion. I can't believe this is real life. I can't believe this is how he really feels about pictures of his dongs being out. And I quote, you ready? I don't know if I'm ready. Are you ready? My first thing was like, how can they do this? Like, I feel super violated. It is a violation of your privacy. It is embarrassing because it wasn't the most flattering picture. Well, maybe it wasn't flattering because your hairdo. I'm not going to judge what a guy looks like, but you kind of look gross with your new haircut. It's not a good look. It kind of looks like Tom Brady in 2009 when he had that warrior hair. Like, you don't look good. Maybe that's what made it not so flattering, was how you look. But the fact that you feel super violated, and you're like, how can they do this? Because you're one of the most famous celebrities on this planet. And you are in the public spotlight 24/7. So did you think you were going to get away with going on the balcony naked in the middle of the day? This wasn't at night, when maybe you don't think people will see. But don't you think that the paparazzi got a tip that Bieber's at that apartment in Bora Bora, or somebody told somebody, and they're going to send that picture to TMZ? Don't you think the word gets out that Bieber's vacationing in Bora Bora? It's sort of an odd place to be vacationing to, so it's pretty easy to find you. So I get that you feel violated because it was kind of rude for them to do. But you're one of the most photographed celebrities out there. It should be expected, dude. I know you want to have rights just like every other Joe Schmo. But when your net worth is $200 million, dude, and you're worldwidely known, you kind of have different rules, dude. Like, you can't be going on the balcony naked if you don't want this to happen. Sorry. Here's what he said. And once again, the words get more infuriating. It touches a part of me where I go, dude, their roast was about nothing if this gets you mad. The new Bieber that was supposed to come from that roast, the Bieber that we thought we would see in 2015 going on November, in October, we thought we'd see the Bieber of, oh yeah, you've seen my junk. But who hasn't? Oh, get it? Because I bang out models? Who hasn't seen my junk? But the Bieber is acting like an uptight douchebag with the arrogance and self-importance. Sit down, shut up. Here's the quote. Like, I feel like I can't go outside and feel like I can go outside naked. You can't go outside naked, dude. Because number one, you're Justin Bieber. You really don't have the same rules that us normal civilians do because you're worldly known, dude. And number two, why would you want to go outside naked? That's what I don't get. Is anybody would get a picture taken of them if they go out naked. So when you're an A-list celebrity, that expectation is supposed to be there that that's going to happen. Like, I should feel comfortable in my own space, especially that far away. Dude, when I worked for a show in Cleveland, I was known in Cleveland, nowhere else. I'm sort of known in Tampa Bay. So if there were to be a picture of me on the balcony naked, people in Cleveland and people in Tampa would know who I am. That's it. But how dare you think that you can go to Bora Bora and no one's going to recognize you, dude? You've had worldwide sales, dude. So it's expected that someone in Bora Bora is going to know who you are. And also, just because you're in a different country doesn't mean that there aren't Americans visiting that are going to recognize you, dude. So with this whole expectation of, I'm not in America, I can do what I want without the paparazzi. Enough, dude. It's almost silly. Like, he's just trolling us. It's just, what's sad about it is he's being serious. It's like, oh, I'm in a different country. Please respect my privacy. Oh, I'm Justin Bieber. Please respect it. No, dude. Because you have the net worth of $200 million. You've literally gotten away with a DUI with going 120 miles down the block in a residential neighborhood, egging houses, getting into fights, pissing in a mop bucket. You've done so much, dude. You've disrespected people verbally and on Twitter that I think it's okay for a naked picture to be out there of you. It's kind of like the revenge that you get. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? All right, here is what is coming up next on Happy Hour.
Next on Happy Hour.
I am sick and tired of people hating on Uber. It's getting out of hand. I get that Uber isn't the most perfect setup, but neither is taking the cab because you're going into someone's random car. Something happened with Uber. A guy's going to jail for 10 years. So I'm not going to sit here and say that there aren't flaws about Uber, but it's got more positives than negatives. Like the first one, that it prevents DUIs. So we will get to that and more after this, but tweet at me so I know you're listening. Chib me. Message me on Hoppy TV if you're watching via Periscope. All you have to do is go to @RyanHoppyRadio for all the links. We will be right back on Happy Hour after this. Hang on.
Happy Hour. Happy Hour. Hoppy ran so hard he starts to sweat. It's basically his cardio. Happy Hour is on. It's time to turn Hoppy on.
All right. Welcome back to Happy Hour. It's not too hard to get into contact with me. All you have to do, it's not rocket science, is tweet at me @RyanHoppyRadio or go to the Spreaker page and chat me live or use the mobile app, which is in the Google Play and iPhone shop. It's not hard. Search up Hoppy Radio and you can listen to all my shows on demand. you can listen to me when I'm live, and when I'm live, you can chat me. I really want to get that feature going because then it'll be interactive. We don't have a phone line as of right now. Trying to figure out how to do that. It might be kind of a thing that'd be hard to pull in, but it's the closest thing besides that and Twitter. All right. I'm sick and tired, especially Hillsborough County here in the Tampa Bay area, trying to get rid of Uber just because the cabs don't like it. First of all, I hate the whole thing when cab drivers go, but it's taking away business from us. I'm sorry that you guys never came up with the concept in 2015 when everyone has their smartphones of, we should have this app where people can request getting rides via their phone and we can be there within 4 minutes. Because first of all, cabs were always the most annoying way to get rides. They're always late, they're awkward, and I'm not saying the fact that they don't speak English is bad, but every single Uber ride that I've taken, I have an intelligent discussion with them. I think there was one when the guy was creepy. I'm coming back from downtown St. Pete, and I'm feeling good, Like, I couldn't drive, and I'm never going to drive drunk. I'm always going to take an Uber. Just because I'm not that good of a driver when I'm sober. And drunk driving is a disgrace, putting your life and everyone else's on the line, so you don't ever do that. So I'm never going to drive drunk. So I'm getting a ride home from downtown St. Pete. And I'm not like bad drunk. I felt good. And the guy goes, "So, did you have fun tonight?" I'm like, "I guess, yeah." And he goes, "Were there any hot bitches out?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sort of." So then I'm bored, and I felt sort of lonely because I'm going home by myself, and I'm not taking a girl home, and I'm going home to my cats, and I'm going to watch Aqua Teen by myself at 4 a.m. on a Saturday. So I began using Tinder on my phone, and I'm just swiping right, and the guy goes, "So, you get laid on there yet? You get any bitches?" And I think that was the one time ever that I was uncomfortable in my Uber. And when I rated him afterwards, he had a 4.2 out of 5, which is pretty low. So obviously a lot of people found Frank, or whatever his name, to be very creepy. So my point is, every time you take an Uber, you have a unique discussion with them because they're all at different parts of their lives. They're trying to pay for college. They're trying to pay for their second job, or they're just unique individuals. They moved to town. Like, I always love taking Uber because you never know who's going to pick you up, and you always have a unique discussion with them. So sorry to the cab drivers who've always been pretty much rude, and they're mad that it's taking away business. It's called competition. That's why we're in America. To make money and to get ahead. Sorry you guys are so in 1997 that you never thought about having a mobile app. So that's one of the reasons why they want to get rid of Ubers. It's because the cab drivers are mad. And I know there's unions, this and that. But here's my second point I'm getting into. Would you rather have a thing that's a little bit flawed, that isn't exactly perfect, but most of the time, Uber's fine? The only reason we are hearing about Uber issues is because people want to throw Uber under the bus. Isn't there that whole mentality of cab drivers being crazy? You have to be crazy if you want to drive around random people all day. So what I'm getting at is the only reason people are acting like Uber is bad is because the news is reporting on it. People quit reporting on crazy cab drivers about 10 years ago because it happens every single day. But now that it's Uber, man, we're throwing it under the bus. Shut up. It prevents DUIs. It's convenient. If you're stranded somewhere, you have an easy way to get home. You don't have to hitchhike or hope that the cab driver picks you out of everybody else. When you get a ride from Uber, you are set to get it. It's not going to be like someone walks in front of you and then the cab driver picks them. That's why I don't get what the hate on Uber is. It's like, shut up. Especially here in Tampa Bay in the Hillsborough County. Really? You're going to try and get rid of it? Especially in Florida, where there is the most fatalities amongst people that ride motorcycles. It saves lives. But no, it's because it's flawed. Shut up. Ridiculous. So that rant leads me to this headline. It says here, Uber driver who raped a woman in the back of his car and was linked to 5 others is sentenced to jail for a decade. Here's why I don't like this headline. He's an Uber driver who raped a woman in the back of his car. That's awful. It's bad. It's inhuman. It's gross. But the other 4 times that he's been linked to it, it wasn't in an Uber. It happened between 2006 and 2010. So this headline is very misleading. This headline makes you think that he did it 5 times in a day in an Uber. No, the other ones were linked via DNA from 2006 to 2010. So shame on the Daily Mail for this misleading and gross headline. You tools. And I use your site for prep, so I'm not really mad. But when I first read it, I'm like, wow, a guy raped 5 women in an Uber? No, I'm not saying the one time he raped someone. That's just as bad. But you're making it out to be that he's on a rampage. Shut up. God. And aren't cab drivers supposed to be crazy? There's a reason there's a game called Crazy Taxi that everyone used to play on their Sega Genesis and their Sega Dreamcast for all 5 people who bought a Sega Dreamcast in the era of the Nintendo 64. So this is expected when cab drivers are crazy. God. The former Uber driver has been in jail since December. He was charged in rape attacks that took place in 2006 and 2007. In his Uber case, he would tell the women that he would need a cash payment, so he took her to an ATM. I don't know how to say this, but you need to be smarter. Okay, she didn't deserve to get raped. That's gross. But wouldn't you feel a little bit suspicious when you've already paid via the phone? That's the whole point, is you don't have to pay cash. I feel awful that this happened to the woman, but come on, don't you know that when a guy's like, yeah, you have to pay me on the side too, and he's forcing you to go to an ATM, isn't that when you open up your door and you get the hell out of there? And I'm looking at this guy, he's very intimidating looking, so you don't know what she was going through. I'm just saying, come on, like really, like I think I would kind of figure out, yeah, didn't I already pay when I put in my 18 code credit card number? But that's a side note. I'm not ripping on her whatsoever. I'm just saying, wouldn't you be a little bit suspicious when he's like, where's the ATM? We need to find the ATM right now. Like, okay. It says here, a former driver for the ride-hailing service Uber has been sentenced to jail for 10 to 12 years and has pleaded guilty to kidnapping and raping a woman. Middlesex attorney Marion Ryan says 47-year-old Alejandro Don pleaded guilty Friday to aggravated rape, kidnapping, and assault and battery. The victim arranged for a ride to her home in Cambridge in December 2014 when Don appeared and she got into his car. He then told her that he would need a cash payment, so he took her to an ATM. First of all, that's got to be the most awkward ride because you're trying to find the ATM and you're like, I think there's one by that empty grocery shop, and you're trying to figure out where to go. That must have been the weirdest convo. It says here, he then drove her to a secluded location and raped her. During the incident, he hit her and strangled her like the bitch and douchebag and scumbag leech that he is. I added that part. It wasn't in the article. He locked the car doors so that she could not escape and covered her mouth so he could not scream. All right. This is completely awful. But the chance of this happening via Uber is so minimal because this happens via cabs very minimally. This happens via bus rides very minimally. I'm just saying, you have a better chance of hitchhiking than you do taking an Uber ride when it comes to being raped. This is awful. But the media has been talking about this, and then they're saying on HLN, should we get rid of Uber? It's like, because of one ride? No. It saves lives. Like, it's just a creep. It's the risk you take. It really is no different than a cab, because you don't know who's picking you up. The same with Uber. Just saying, I know they don't do background checks. I get that. I get that it's sketchy and you sometimes get hired in a parking lot. But now we're acting like cabs are such a normal service and everything is done by the law. Really? You see some of those cab drivers. I feel more uncomfortable in a cab whenever I would take it to the airport in Chicago than I do in an Uber. I'm just saying, Uber drivers are hardworking civilians trying to make a living. I'm just saying. It says here, all the victims gave the same description that resembled Don, who has no previous criminal record. Such an important fact, because when you've raped 5 women, it really doesn't matter if you have a previous criminal record or not. You're a scumbag either way. Here's what Officer Conley said. The real break in the case happened when Massachusetts police criminalists on their own time found the other 4 rapes and were able to link it to him. All right. It says here, Uber said that Dunn was not a driver for the company when the other attacks happened. But yet, the headline has to make it seem like he was. I don't know. There's really not that much more to this. Uber said publicly, no one should hail or get into a vehicle that is not completely identified, prearranged transportation. All right. I just don't get why we are so quick to throw Uber under the bus. It's not a perfect setup. Neither is taking the cab. All right. But do we want to have people, especially here in Florida, here in Hillsborough County, drunk driving all the time and taking lives? When I lived in Illinois and even in Cleveland, I would see occasional drunk drivers, but usually it was someone half asleep or it was somebody on their phone. But I have never seen so many clear-cut DUI drivers here in the Tampa Bay area. It's ridiculous. The way they drive, it's like the highway is a bowling alley and it's just a bowling ball going back and forth. It's like you're playing GTA. It literally is scary. There's times like when a lane is closing, when you're going onto a highway, they speed around you and they grace the side of your car almost. Like the roads here in Tampa are ridiculous. You'll see pieces of the couch in the middle of the highway. When I was driving here from Cleveland and I moved here, I saw a VCR in the middle of a highway in Ocala. What I'm getting at is Florida roads are weird. So would you rather have all this madness with DUI drivers going on where lives are taken, especially in a state where all these motorcyclists are getting killed and DUIs happen all the time? Florida is ranked in the top 10 with DUI drivers. So would you rather get rid of Uber completely and let this phenomenon of scumbags who get too drunk and can't handle their alcohol, would you rather let that phenomenon of them driving drunk happen? Or would you rather go with a flawed setup where Uber's not perfect? Uber's not the best, but neither is taking the cab. But it saves lives, it's cheap, and it's mostly reliable. It's just ridiculous because the unions are mad. Sorry, there's competition. And somebody finally said, why isn't there a mobile app for taking a cab ride? That's why I don't feel bad for these cab drivers. It's the fact that cabs have been around probably since the 30s. It's like, why are you so special? You've had 80 years to improve your setup, to improve your technology, but you've always been behind. So how dare Uber or Lyft come in and get with the times and be hip and be easy? Shut up. You guys just sound disgruntled and angry. And if you hate your job so much of being a cab driver, here's what you should do. quit the job. It's actually probably easier to be an Uber driver than it is to be a cab driver, number one. And number two, I feel like it's probably easier to get the job as a Uber driver than it is to be a cab driver. So to any cabbies maybe listening via their aux cord, I don't mean to hate on you. It's just get with the times. Quit your job, but first make sure you have the Uber job, and then just join Uber. Like, shut up. You're making it about you, and we're not making as much money now. Sorry, there's competition. Sorry you're so greedy and you don't like the idea that there's more people on the road and their lives are being saved. Sickening. Absolutely sickening. Gets me so mad. The fact that there's a chance that Uber might go away. There's no reason I should be getting an email from Uber where they want me to sign a petition on their site. No, this wasn't on change.org. Uber wanted me to sign for them. I wrote 2 paragraphs. I did. What I'm getting at is there should be no reason that Uber should ever be in this position where they're begging me to keep them around. Of course. Morons. All right, here is what's coming up on Happy Hour.
Next on Happy Hour.
All right, we're going to get the hell out of here. But first, I am sick and tired of these uptight parents that now have the weapon known as the keyboard, getting mad at traditions. They are trying to get rid of a tradition in Vermont, but it's a tradition that happens everywhere. But a school got rid of the tradition, but then brought it back 2 days later. So it shows the case of fake outrage at an all-time high. Ridiculous. God, is things getting out of hand. We're offended by this. We don't agree with that. We should ruin it for everyone. Sit down, shut up, and realize that nobody cares what you think. It's just words. All right. I will get to that and more after this. We will be right back on Happy Hour. Tweet at me at Ryan Hoppe Radio. After this, hang on.
Happy Hour. Happy Hour.
What's up? This is Ryan Hoppe from Happy Hour, and I have a very special shout out to one of the sponsors of this award-winning podcast. Nicholas Seymour from Duluth, Minnesota is the owner of Solis Graphics, which is a badass company that will make you decals. You can buy Happy Hour decals. It's not too hard. For just $4, you can support this award-winning podcast while supporting small business here in America. Or maybe you have a band, a company, a freelancing project, and you want to have your logo made into a nice, badass decal. Nick is down for making deals, and he is very good at negotiating. If you want to get into contact with Nick, it's not hard. Trust me. He will answer your call real quick, and he is one of the nicest guys I know. His number is 330-419-0691. That is 330-419-0691. Or you can send him an email, solisdesign@gmail.com. That is solisdesign@gmail.com. And to check out Happy Hour decals for just $4, go to tinyurl.com/Happy Hour decal. That is tinyurl.com/Happy Hour decal. And when you talk to my guy, Nick, just say that Ryan Hoppe sent you, and he will give you a badass deal. Trust my word, pimps. Nick Seymour of Solis Graphics is the best around.
It's time to turn Hoppe on. It's time to turn Hoppe on. It's time to turn Hoppe on.
All right, welcome back to Happy Hour. Tweet at me so I know you're listening. I got some live tweets, like from my guy, Glick Chris, who is one of the biggest fans of me, and it's so flattering. The fact that he listens to me while he's working, that's the whole point of Happy Hour, is I want you to be working. I want to have your day be shitty, but have my podcast somehow fix your day. I'm not saying I want your day to be crappy. I'm just saying that's one of the things I shoot for when I do Happy Hour is to make your day. So I appreciate Glick_Chris for listening. Also, Sir Neil 01 on Twitter said he's listening live. I appreciate it. I also have this kid my age named Rob Hill. I don't have a kid. Let me re-say that. There's a guy who listens who's around my age. His name's Rob Hill. Literally one of the biggest fans of Happy Hour. It's flattering. There's Philbo Baggins. There's all these guys that listen to Happy Hour, and it means the world to me. I'm not even being cliche. Like, the fact that you're supporting something that much that isn't even big time. Like, yeah, I won an award, but I try to be humble about it, and I keep grinding. So the fact that you guys support me, it means the world. It really does. All right. I am sick and tired of this entitlement by these blogs, by these wussies that get offended by everything. I get that outrage has been around since the beginning of time, but now that there's this weapon called the keyboard, these people think they have a right to get things shut down. And there is a tradition that they're trying to get rid of. The tradition of Halloween, and I don't get it. I get it's kind of a creepy holiday. I get it's kind of an eerie holiday, but it's kids dressing up as their favorite superhero or Disney cartoon, going house to house getting candy. But now these parents are trying to find something to bitch and complain about. So they're trying to ruin it for everybody. And what I hate most about these parents that get so mad at these holidays is they put everybody else on edge because they go, well, what if we do this? What if we have a parade? Will we get into trouble? Like, they can't even get a word out. I can only imagine what a boardroom is like when they're trying to plan events for elementary school. It's probably a bunch of babbling people going, but, what if we do this? Like, everybody is on edge. They don't know what to say because it might offend somebody. So if you're offended by something and you're listening, I want you to realize that you don't matter. You're one person. I'm sorry you're offended by holidays. I'm sorry you're such an unhappy schmuck with nothing going on that it pains you to see people having fun in life. But you're no special. You don't matter. Sit down. Shut up. Maybe you need to smoke a little weed or drink a little to relax your nerves, or go on Pornhub, or go out on the town and appreciate life. But you're wasting the time of day you are given each day to figure out what you're offended by now. Nobody cares. Nobody's impressed. Ooh, you wrote a blog. Ooh, you made a podcast about something. Shut up. All right, here's the headline. Halloween party rises from the dead. And also, these are the same people who didn't skip out on Halloween when they were kids. Why does it matter now when you're an adult? I can almost guarantee you the people who get mad at Halloween are the ones who loved it as a kid. They're just mad that they don't have kids to do it with, or that the neighbors have fun and they don't. I can almost guarantee you the people who get mad at Halloween did it as a kid and they loved it, but now they're Grinches. They're unhappy douchebags. God, enough of you. Oh, we don't like Christmas. Then don't believe in God. But for people who do, don't ruin it for them. Speaking of that, the atheists who are so outspoken about being atheists, they're trying to prove a point. You're basically a hypocrite because you're being no different than Billy Graham or any of those televangelists or anybody who's religious, because you're almost being more outspoken about being atheist or about hating Halloween. You're being worse than the religious people because you're contributing nothing but hate, and you're trying to be the smartest person in the room because you're an unlikable douchebag with the personality of a saltine cracker. Shut up. God, it gets me so mad. People are so boring and offended now. Wah. Words hurt. I'm offended. I want to let everybody know. Nobody cares. Nobody's impressed that you wrote a very wordy blog that had big words to seem more intelligent, even though you have an average IQ, a normal-looking wife, and a boring life. Hey, that rhymed. And these people would never go up to these kids who are having fun for Halloween and go, take off that outfit. You are not allowed to have fun. Hey, you college kids banging each other out as that girl looks really hot in that skimpy outfit. Don't have fun. The adults appreciating life, having a party. Don't have fun. These wussies that write these blogs would never say it to anyone's face because they have no social skills and they're unlikable and they're boring human beings who need to get a life. Enough. Shut up. God, it gets me so mad because things are just going to get worse as technology keeps getting bigger and bigger, and there will be more outlets for these imbeciles to write blogs. And people get scared now. Why? Just ignore it. Says here. After an online petition, principal at Bartown Middle and Elementary School have decided there will be a Halloween celebration at the school after all. All right. If it was at a company or even a high school, maybe I would get taking it away because even though it would suck to get rid of it, you're really not ruining these young adults or adults' feelings that much because they're like, whatever, we're not having a Halloween party. But you're only a kid for so long. So how would you want to ruin these kids' lives by saying, yeah, those other elementary schools are having parties, but we're not because someone wrote a blog. So this is what I'm saying to the people who write the blogs and to people who fall to the pressure of the people who write the blogs. It's like, don't you remember what it was like to be a kid and how awesome that was? As I'm working every day and seeing life, I miss being a kid. So how can you take that away from their cute faces as they're so happy getting candy for free? Think about that, you douchebags. In a letter to parents Thursday morning, elementary school principal Jennifer Nye, I wonder if she's Bill's wife, and middle school principal Timothy Crowley admitted they had overreached when they decided to go away with the traditional parade for the kindergartners, first graders, seventh graders, and eighth graders. Well, that's a little weird that the middle schoolers are having a Halloween party. I'm not saying they shouldn't have it. I'm just saying it's kind of weird. Teachers for the other grades will now be allowed to hold small classroom activities and healthy snack time. I love how they got to get the word healthy in there. Everybody, pass the carrot and peanut butter. It's so delicious. Thank you, Michelle Obama. In the October newsletter to parents, the school has announced that the parade and celebrations would be phased out, so there would be more focus on learning. Oh, boo! What are you learning that's so important in elementary school? Maybe if this was high school and you're trying to get ready for a final exam, then maybe it would make sense. But you're learning 5 times 5. I'm pretty sure if you have fun for one day, it's not going to ruin the element of learning. It's not like the kids aren't going to know what 5 times 5 is in 10 years because you had fun for one day in elementary school. Shut up. I hope my rants make people think. I'm not trying to sit here and say that I'm some preacher or I'm outspoken or you should listen to my words or else you're wrong, even though that's true. I'm just saying, really break it down. Not having school for one day is going to ruin the idea of learning. If anything, it'll give their brains a rest. They're going to have 70 years of hating their life and working every day until they die. Can kids be kids, or do they have to learn? The principal called Halloween an unnecessary distraction. You know what an unnecessary distraction is? The fact that you made a big event about this, canceling it, but then bringing it back because you don't have the balls to stand for what you believe in, because you're unlikable and unintelligent douchebags with no personality. If you're trying to ruin it for the kids. Ridiculous. Like, if you really believe that Halloween sucks so much, go through the pressure. Why are you mad, man? Maybe because you look like douchebags and unfun losers? The no fun police wants to shut it down. Why do you care so much? If you really believe in this, just go with it, man. Bartown resident Jake Larrabee, who has 2 kids attending the school, took issue with that decision and created a petition on change.org to bring it back. It got over 450 signatures. All right. There's no reason that this should go that far to them having to write a petition. This is the one time I'm glad that the power of the internet helped. I'm just saying, if they actually had to go and write a petition to beg to bring it back, ridiculous. This year's Halloween celebration will look like last year's with one big change. Nye said to reduce parking issues and capacity issues, the kindergartners and first graders will have separate parades at separate times. All right, that makes sense. I'm just saying, like, we never heard about this prior to the internet. Maybe it's because these losers had no outlet before. I'm just saying, does it really offend you that much? Are you not sleeping at night because elementary schools are having Halloween parties? Are you not able to focus at your boring job that you hate because kids are having Halloween parties? Are you not able to have sex with your wife and focus because kids are having Halloween parties? Does it make you that angry that you can't go about your day? Or is it because, for once, you feel like you have power and it gives you a power trip and you feel like you're important for once because you shut something down? And if you feel that way and you live life that way, then you're a pathetic loser who needs to get a mirror and look yourself in that and say, what am I doing? Because life is short. The kids won't be kids for very long, and then they'll be grown-ups. Let them be kids. Let them have fun. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. We have to shut down the Halloween party, kids, because you need to learn more. Even though you're in 4th grade, and basically you learn about what you're attracted to because you check out the girls or the guys in class, and then you do 5 times 5. Absolutely sickening.
Ow.
You hear this? It means that happy hour is about to end. But to get into contact with me, it's not hard. Tweet at me at Ryan Hoppe Radio. Download my app. Go to the Google Play or iOS shop. So on any smart device, you can hear Happy Hour. All you have to do, search up Hoppe Radio, and you can listen anywhere in the world. I don't care if you're in Cleveland or Auckland, New Zealand, or Tampa Bay, Newport Richey, or if you're in Sarasota or San Jose, California. You can listen anywhere in the world. Email me if you want to be a sponsor, you want to have a guest spot on Happy Hour, anything. Ryan at hopperadio.com. Also, go to hopperadio.com, which is under construction, but you can see what I'm trying to work on, and hoppesroad.com. And that's about it. This has been Happy Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe, saying peace out.
This is an official broadcast of Hoppe Radio. For more info, check out hopperadio.com and hoppesworld.com.
There's just $200 here, Nappy.
Seriously? $8.
There's just $200 here, Nappy.
Seriously? $200? I can barely let the porn shoot for that much.
Porn shoot?
Yeah, we direct pornos.
You teach him El Porno yet, Juby? Huh?
Shut up!
What is this word? El Porno.
It means wealth. It's how you use your body to make money. Isn't that right, Juby? Tell him. Tell him with your mouth.
Shut up, Nappy. Where's Mappy?
We left his ass back at the house. Who needs maps anymore? I'll tell you where to go. I'm Gypsy, the GPS.
Gypsy can run the camera. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I'll run the camera. I'll run it good.
Hey, did I see Jubilee over here? Where is she?
You know Jubilee?